What up, YouTube? Timur's here. Since this month, I'm doing my reviews for past March movies. Here's my review for Drillbit Taylor. Now, Drillbit Taylor was a comedy that premiered back on March 21st, 2008. By the way, today is March 21st as well, so see what I did there? Anyway, now this film, is about these three high school kids who pretty much are being bullied by this kid named Filkins, played by Alex Frost. And so, instead of actually finding them back and all that, they decide to actually hire a bodyguard who is played by Joe, who is this bodyguard named Joe Taylor, played by Owen Wilson. He pretty much is he's a bit of a liar, really, because he, told him that he was like in the military and stuff like that, but he just wanted, the cash and all. But that side, now the three leads, by the way, I thought was great. It is led by Troy Gento, David Dorfman, and Nate Hartley. Now you might actually know Troy Gentile because he plays Barry Goldberg, probably one of my favorite sitcoms on TV right now, The Goldbergs. It's been cool to see him. Like nowadays, he's a little slimmer than he was when he did this film. I, of course, he also played a young Jack Black in not one but two movies. He played a young Jack Black in both Nacho Libre and Tenacious D and the Pig of Destiny. You could totally see a little like a younger version of Jack Black when he was young. And not to mention his friend, one of his friends, played by Nate Hartley. He's also on the Goldbergs, so got a little bit of a Goldbergs, feel like cast members in this. The film is written by Seth Rogen, which interesting that this movie is actually not rated R, but there is like an uncut version. So, there's that. Anyway, now the two bullies in this are played by Alex Frost and Josh Peck. Now it's kind of really, I always found it funny to see those two actually play villains in a comedy film because Alex Frost and Josh Peck, before they did this movie, they also did they actually played bullies before in mostly a dramatic film because Alex Frost played a bully in that movie, in that Gus Van Sant movie Elephant, while Josh Peck played a bully in that movie Mean Creek. If you guys never seen Mean Creek, by the way, that movie's awesome. I mean, definitely not your typical, Josh. Like Josh is definitely no, Josh from Drake and Josh. That's a very serious role. I gotta talk about Mean Creek one of these days. That's one of my favorite indie movies of the 2000s. But back to Drillbit Taylor. Drillbit Taylor is awesome. Satch say the film did not really get well reviewed. It has about a 26% Rotten Tomatoes, which it's much better than 26%. This movie is completely underrated. Uh, the humor is really good. I mean, I guess it probably would have been better if it was straight up rated R, maybe that, but it's still a hilarious one. It's directed by Stephen Brill, who's directed some other, notable stuff. He's directed the Adam Sandler movie, Mr. Deeds. His other filmography, of course, he gave us the Mighty Ducks. Oh no, actually, he wrote the Mighty Ducks. My bad. He did do that movie, Heavyweights. He directed Little Nicky, Mr. Deeds. He also his most notable credits. He directed Adam Sandler in those films, The Do Over and Sandy Wexler. Oh, and he also did Hubie Halloween. Cool. But that aside, yeah, this movie is definitely a funny one. The three leads are the three kids are really solid together. Besides Wilson and the other young actors, you have some other interesting cast members here too. Like you got Leslie Mann, which I believe Judd Apatow was like a producer on this film, so obviously Leslie Mann will be in this film. You also had Danny McBride, who was hilarious here. Stephen Root played the principal. Um, Another Goldberg's actor. You also had you got a couple of Goldberg's actors who actually appear in this film. You had David Koechner and Cedric Yarbach, who will later end up reteaming once again with Troy on other Goldbergs. So it's kind of pretty funny seeing a couple of Goldberg's actors pop up in this. Obviously, the show was like before the Goldbergs was even thought about. But yeah, this film has some really funny scenes. Like there's actually a really funny rap battle scene, which is hilarious. Pretty much, it introduced us to Mr. Big Tasty. Anybody who knows the Goldbergs will probably get the joke. But yeah, this movie is such a really fun one. It's entertaining. You know, oh, not to mention Kevin Hart also has a part in this, so it's kind of pretty cool to see Kevin Hart pop up. Like before he became bigger, Kevin Hart, did pop up in some interesting stuff. So there's that. But this is definitely probably one of my favorite Owen Wilson comedies. He is so darn good in this. You always keep forgetting how great Owen Wilson is, and I'm not even gonna lie. This is even in my top. One of the days I'll do my top 10 favorite Owen Wilson movies. Maybe when that movie "Marry Me" comes out, or maybe when Loki comes out, I'll probably do that. But this is definitely going to be in my top 10 favorite Owen Wilson movie. He is so good in this. Uh, he's not really supposed to be likable because what he does to these kids are pretty messed up. I mean, he's he's pretty much stealing their money and stuff like that. He's pretty much hustling them. Yeah, not great, but he ends up turning around to really feel really bad what he did and stuff like that. He's and of course he ends up pretty much pretending to be their teacher as well to get through the bully. So that's that too. Of course, Alex. How does he call him Alex Winter? Alex Frost. Alex Winter is a totally different guy. Alex Frost is so darn good as Phil because you could really buy him as his bully. Josh Peck, while he still technically did play the bully, for some reason Josh Peck's character was still so likable, despite him actually playing a bully in this. I mean, this shows that sometimes you just gotta handle bullies yourselves, and yeah, I mean, we've all had bullies in school, and that's and not to mention the one who plays like the youngest kid in this, the actor his name is David Dorfman. If you guys don't know, he also played the kid in The Ring, so that it was pretty cool to see him in a comedy like this. But that got aside, if you guys have never really seen Drillbit Taylor, it's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite comedies of 2008. 2008 was a really interesting year for comedies. We had Tropic Thunder. There was of course Zohan. Drillbit Taylor is one of them. Pineapple Express we had. Speaking of Danny McBride, what a year for comedies in 2008. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite years of comedies. But that aside, if you guys haven't really seen Drillbit Taylor, you can probably find it on Amazon somewhere. It's not really on Netflix, which is disappointing, but not everything has to be on streaming, I guess. Anyway, maybe it would be on Paramount Plus down the line. I mean, it is from Paramount, so. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen Drillbit Taylor? If so, what story? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? What were some of your favorite parts of it? Some of your favorite moments? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This is Movie Sign Out.